Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Easy English channel, the place where we make English simple and easy, practical, and actually fun. I'm Sophia.
And I'm Jason. We are genuinely happy to have you with us today.
I'm excited. Whether you are listening while walking in the park, cooking a nice dinner, commuting to work, or maybe just sitting with a warm cup of tea and focusing on your English, you are in the perfect place.
Exactly. Every conversation we have here is designed to help you think in English and speak more naturally. No boring textbooks, just real talk.
Before we dive in, a small favor. If our podcast helps you feel more confident, please follow the show and share it with one friend who is also on this journey.
Yeah, learning together is always better than learning alone.
Now, Jason, today's topic is a bit of a grammar confusion for many people. We are talking about the difference between have done and have been doing.
Oh, I know this one. It's that moment in a conversation where you start a sentence, then you freeze and think, wait, which one do I use?
Exactly. Many English learners understand the grammar rules in a book, but when they try to use them in real conversation, something feels wrong. They worry they sound robotic or incorrect.
I've definitely been there. It's like your brain just stops working for a second.
Well, today we are going to fix that forever. By the end of this episode, you will feel the difference between these two.
That's a great point. Feeling the difference is much better than just memorizing a chart.
Let's start simple with have done. Think of this as the result structure. When you use have done, you are focusing on the fact that an action is finished. The result is what matters now.
So it's like crossing something off a to-do list.
Precisely. For example, I have cleaned the kitchen. I'm not talking about when I did it or how long it took. I'm just telling you the result. The kitchen is clean now.
Oh, wow, that's clear. So if I finish a book, I say, I have read this book.
Exactly. It's done. It's a completed task in your mind. But here's something interesting. Now we look at have been doing. This is the process structure.
Wait a second. So this one is about the time spent?
Yes, here we focus on the activity and the duration. It shows that something started in the past and is either still happening or just finished, and we can still see the effects.
Let me try. If I started reading a book 2 hours ago and I'm still reading it, I say, I have been reading for 2 hours.
Perfect. You are focusing on the time and the effort, not the finished result.
I see what you mean. One is about the end and the other is about the journey.
That's a beautiful way to put it. Let's look at a real-life situation. Imagine you see a friend and their clothes are covered in white paint. You wouldn't ask, "What have you done?"
That's true. That sounds like they did something wrong.
Right. You would ask, "What have you been doing?" Because, well, you see the physical evidence of a recent activity. They might answer, "I've been painting the living room."
Now things get interesting. So if they say, I have painted the living room, they are showing me a finished, beautiful room. But if they say, I have been painting, they are probably tired and still have brushes in their hands.
Exactly. Have been doing often explains why someone looks tired, sweaty, or messy. Why are you out of breath? Because I've been running.
That makes so much sense. But there's a small detail most people miss. Can we use both for the same situation sometimes?
That's a great question. For long-term situations like living or working somewhere, they're often very similar. You can say, I have lived here for 10 years, or I have been living here for 10 years. Both are fine.
So in that case, I don't need to panic.
No panic needed. But for short-term actions, the difference is huge. Listen to this. I've been cutting onions.
And that explains why your eyes are red and you are crying.
Exactly. But if I say, I have cut the onions, I am just showing you a bowl of chopped onions ready for cooking.
I see. The first one is the why and the second one is the result.
Now let's look at a common mistake learners make. Many people say, I have been finished my work.
Wait, that sounds really strange.
It is. Finished is a result word. You cannot be finishing something that is already finished in that way. You should just say, I have finished my work.
That's a good point. So I shouldn't mix the process structure with the word that means the end.
Exactly. Another mistake is using have done when you are talking about a specific length of time that is still continuing. For example, I have studied English for 3 hours.
Is that wrong?
It's not strictly wrong, but it sounds much more natural to say, I have been studying English for 3 hours because the 3 hours is the process.
Now, this is where many learners get confused. What if the action is very short, like breaking a glass?
You would never say, I have been breaking a glass. That sounds like you were doing it slowly on purpose. You just say, I have broken a glass. It happened in a second.
Yeah, that would be a very weird hobby.
Let's try a little practice. Jason, imagine you are at the gym and you are very sweaty. I walk up to you and ask what's going on. What do you say?
I would say, I have been working out for an hour.
Perfect. Now, imagine you just finished a big project at work. Your boss asks for the file. What do you say?
I say, I have done the project. Here is the file.
Spot on. You're focusing on the completed task. But here's something interesting about how native speakers talk in real life. We love to use contractions.
Oh, like I've instead of I have?
Yes. Instead of saying, I have been working, we say, I've been working. The been often sounds like been, short and fast.
I've been working. I've been studying. It sounds much smoother.
It does. And in fast speech, I have done becomes I've done. The v is very light.
I've done it. I've been doing it.
Exactly. Now, let's think about the emotional usage. Tone changes everything. If I say, what have you been doing, with a high, curious voice, I'm just interested in your day.
But if you say it with a low, serious voice, what have you been doing?
Then it sounds like I think you've been doing something bad.
Wait a second. So the process structure can be used to show suspicion.
Sometimes, yes, because it focuses on the activity that led to a suspicious result.
That's a great detail. English really is about the feeling, isn't it?
It really is. Now, let's summarize what we learned today so everyone can remember it easily.
I'll try. Use have done when you want to show a finished result or a completed task, like I've finished my tea.
And use have been doing when you want to focus on the activity, the time spent, or the reason why something looks or feels a certain way right now, like I've been recording this podcast.
And don't forget, if it's a finished result, don't use been. Just say, I have done.
Perfect. And most importantly, don't worry about being perfect. Even if you use the wrong one, people will usually understand you. Fluency comes from speaking, not from being a grammar robot.
That's very encouraging, Sophia. I feel much better about these two now.
I'm glad to hear that. To all our listeners, thank you so much for spending your time with us today. Whether you were cooking, walking, or just relaxing, we hope this made your English journey a little easier.
Now it's your turn. Try to use these in your daily life. Tell yourself, I've been practicing my English today, or I've done my exercises.
Keep practicing, keep speaking, and don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy learning English through our conversations.
We'll see you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone!
Bye.